everybody, Low Carb Keith here, and I'm back in my kitchen, and I am going to make another cheesy snack that is low carb and that is delicious. What we're going to do is we're going to make some low carb mozzarella sticks. Yeah, I know. How can you make mozzarella sticks low carb? Well, I'm getting ready to show you how. Let me show you what we're going to be using. We've got a half a cup of almond flour, and this is fine almond flour. I've got a couple of ounces of, no, this doesn't look very good, but these are pork rinds that I have crushed, and I could have put them in the food processor, but I didn't want to dirty it up. So what I did is I just took a sandwich bag, took some of my pork rinds in there, took my hand and then a rolling pin and just kind of mashed it down. Okay, I've got one egg that is whipped. I've got a little bit of parsley and a little bit of garlic powder. And I've also taken a half of a small block of mozzarella cheese, and I've cut it into little shapes. Cut it into about eight segments. Now you could use string cheese, but I discovered at the store that the block of mozzarella per pound is a lot cheaper than buying the string cheese. So anyway, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to mix the almond powder first. Let's do the almond powder, and then we're going to add the crushed pork rinds in there with it. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to put just a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a teaspoon of garlic powder in there. Okay. And then a little bit of the parsley flakes. Just a little bit, not much. There we go. Okay, so what we do is we're going to mix that up first of all. We're going to mix that up real good, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the cheese, we're going to put it in this, and then we are going to dip it in the egg, which is I've already mixed the egg up or whipped it up, and then it goes back into this mix. We're going to take one of these, we're going to put it in here, let it go, then we dip it in the egg mixture. Get that good and coated with the egg, and then we're back into this and just kind of dredge that up, make sure that gets good and covered. Okay, and we're going to do this with all 8 pieces. All right, so you can see I've got all 8 pieces of the mozzarella cheese breaded, and now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put this in the freezer for at least 2 hours, possibly even overnight, and you want the cheese and the breadcrumbs to be really frozen really well before you put them in the air fryer, which is what we're going to do. As a matter of fact, I made a batch of this yesterday, so I've got some that just came out of the freezer. This is what they look like. So I'm going to put these in the air fryer and cook them from 6 to 8 minutes, and I might check them halfway through, and we'll see how they do. So let's go in the air fryer. Put them in there. Try to give them enough room. All right. I've got my 7 pieces, because I dropped one, my 7 pieces in the air fryer. We're going to crank it up to about 8 minutes. And in about 8 minutes, we'll see what we've got. I've got some low-carb marinara sauce for dipping. Once they come out, we'll see if they're done, see if they're crispy. Hopefully they're crispy. And there we go. It's done. So let's take a look. Well, they have leaked a little bit, but they are crispy. Well, Yeah, they leaked a little bit, so that's okay. Some of the mozzarella came through. But once it hardens back up, it will be great. This probably could have done with about 6 minutes instead of 8 minutes. Here's one that looks really good. Yeah, I think I cooked them too long, but that's okay. It's all right. Once that cheese hardens back up, that one's kind of ugly. This is the first time I've made these like this, so, you know, it may not be perfect, but there we go. All right, so I've got another batch in the freezer for tomorrow. So I will clean this up, and I will cook those tomorrow. I will cook those tomorrow with on about six minutes instead of 8 minutes. It is kind of gooey, isn't it? You know, it's not perfect, but not everything turns out perfect. But that's okay. It's the taste and the flavor that's important. So let's get a fork. These may not be dippable, but it's not bad once the cheese kind of firms up. See what it tastes like. We'll do a dip here. You know, it's a mozzarella stick. It is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Once the cheese hardens up a little bit, you can dip that in there. That is so good. Anyway, these did not turn out as beautifully looking as what I'd hoped, but you live and learn. Like I said, the ones I made earlier today, I've already put them in the freezer for tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'll put them in at about 5 or 6 minutes in the air fryer. That will keep the cheese from melting all over the place. At least they're not burnt. Cheese just kind of ran out of them. So, but they taste good, and they're low carb, and that's all that matters. Low carb, easy, and they taste good. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure and click that subscribe button so you can keep up with all the low carb recipes and dishes that I'm making for you. See you next time. Thanks for watching.